And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for Game 2 between ICC and Calhoun. If you're just now joining us, ICC picked up a 5-2 victory in Game 1, not before things got interesting, as Calhoun was able to put the game-winning run at the plate with a bases-loaded situation before Sam Harrington closed the door on the rally by the Warhawks. Let's take a look at today's Coca-Cola starting lineup for Game 2, and let's start with the Indians. Leading things off will be Trey DeSantis. He'll be playing in center field. Batting second will be the second baseman, Kyle Krieger. Catching Game 2 will be Drew Thomas. He'll be batting third. Cleanup batter will be the first baseman, Justin Medlin. At third base, batting fifth, will be Russell Bunch. In left field will be Drake Wallace. He'll be batting sixth. The DH here in Game 2 will be Jacob Hall. Right fielder will be Kyle Weaver. And batting ninth will be shortstop Connor Lewis. Pitching for the Indians here in Game 2 will be Houston Harding. Take a look at the information on Houston Harding. You can tell it's early in the year because I don't have my numbers down pat. Houston, a freshman. He's out of Evangelical Christian School in Tennessee. He lives in Walls, Mississippi. He is a freshman pitcher listed at 6'1", 185. It'll be Atkins pitching for the Warhawks here in Game 2 as we're awaiting that Bank of Okolona opening pitch here from Atkins. That pitch coming at 3:03. So a 3:03 start time here with the Bank of Okolona opening pitch, which was a ball. And there's a fly ball deep to left center, back to the wall, and it's off the wall. Thought about turning it into a triple, but instead it's going to be a leadoff double there for Trey DeSantis. I tell you what, if the wind was blowing just a little bit, that would have been a round tripper there for Trey DeSantis to start off the ball game, but instead it bounces off the fence out there in left center for a leadoff double. So now up will be Kyle Krieger. So the Indians off to a good start here in the top of the first. Happened so fast I didn't get my other camera up to shoot a highlight of it. So waiting the pitch here. This one swung on, foul back, out of play for strike one. Kyle playing second base here in Game 2. On deck is Drew Thomas, who is catching after DHing in the first game of the day. A lot of new faces here in the lineup for the Indians in Game 2. A double by DeSantis to start things off. There's a ground ball. Third baseman's going to get it. Look the runner back to second. Throw across to first in the dirt, and it gets away. And that time, DeSantis kind of tripped up as he tried to round third. And so that's going to be E5. And now Drew Thomas will come up. So no outs and two runners on in scoring position here for the Indians. A good start to the contest here in Game 2 for ICC. So this is Drew Thomas at the plate catching here in Game 2. That pitch missing low and inside for a ball. So the Indians, who won Game 1 5-2, trying to jump out to a quick start here in Game 2. Thomas awaiting the pitch. 1-0 is the count. Swings on that one, comes up empty. Even the count now at 1-1. We do want to welcome those watching on Let'sGoICCTV.com and those that may be watching in favor of the Warhawks here. Welcome. So 1-1 is the count. No outs. Runners on second and third after an error. Ground ball, third base, foul ball. So we'll do it all over again. So ICC trying to get out to a quick start here in Game 2. Now, one of the biggest concerns here in Game 2 as the sun can finally start to decide to pop out here at the ballpark is the fact that there's no lights. So if we have a long ball game, this one could be called due to darkness. There's a rope out to left field. One run will score. Going to try to score two, and it will. And the Indians take a quick 2-0 lead here on a single to left by Drew Thomas. Good job by the Indians, taking advantage of the early error to be able to plate the 2 runs, and ICC leads it 2-0. Thomas gets a pair of RBIs. And now up will be Justin Medlin. Medlin will dig in with no outs and a runner at first. Breaking pitch didn't quite turn over for Atkins that time. Misses high and inside for a ball. So 1-0 is the count here to Medlin. Swings on that one, takes a healthy chop, but comes up empty. No outs, 2-0 ICC with the lead, top of the first in game 2. Chased a pitch, a beautiful breaking pitch, tailing away from the batter. Strike 2 now is the call. 1-2 is the count. Runner at first, no outs. Russell Bunch on deck for the Indians. One-two pitch coming from Atkins. This one lifted. Right fielder tracking back, can't find it, and this one's going to hit just short of the warning track. And the Indians breaking out the hitting sticks here early in game 2, and that's a double, the second double of the inning. And the Warhawks quickly heading out to the mound here to talk things over. ICC, boy, lighten things up. So that was a double by Medlin. Drew Thomas had to check up to make sure the ball wasn't going to be caught, as that one traveled just a little bit more, I think, than the right fielder was anticipating. And now up will be Russell Bunch, the third baseman for the Indians. Trying to talk things over with Atkins right now. Umpire giving him a lot of liberty out there to have a lengthy conversation. Looks like they're going to start getting a couple of guys stretching over here for the Warhawks. 2-0 is the lead, ICC. No outs. Runners on second and third here for Russell Bunch, who will dig in. So a good start to the contest here for the Indians, trying to build on this 2-0 lead. Bunch takes that pitch inside for a ball. Of course, Russell Bunch, a graduate of Itawamba AHS, getting his first collegiate at bat, one of the many freshmen, 22 freshmen on this team for the Indians this season. That pitch at the knees called a strike, evens up the count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs. Runners on second and third here for the Indians. They already lead this one 2-0. Bunch takes a healthy chop at that one, comes up empty. Now 1-2 goes the count. So the 1-2 pitch coming to Bunch. No outs, runners on second and third here for the Indians. Bunch fouls that one off to keep the at-bat alive. Sun starting to creep back behind the clouds here in, I think it's Tanner, Alabama, instead of actually Decatur. It's the Decatur campus. One-two is the count. Pitch coming. Pitch inside. And evens the count now at 2-2. Well, Trey DeSantis got everything started. He doubled, advanced to third on an error, came around and scored along with Kyle Krieger on a 2-run single by Drew Thomas. So 2-2 pitch coming. Ground ball, third baseman is going to come up on it. Makes the play over to first in time for the first out of the inning. Score that one 5-3 for those of you scoring at home. So with one out, this is Drake Wallace coming to the plate. Takes that first pitch outside for a ball. ICC leads it 2-0. Runners on second and third with one out here in the top of the first. That pitch, a beauty, across for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. Drake Wallace, also a member of the ICC football team. Standing in at the plate with a 1-1 count with one out. There's a shot, and it's going to get through and score another run. Nice at bat that time by Drake. Went with the pitch and pushes across the run. And the Indians now lead it 3-0. So the Indians coming out in a fury here in game two. As that score, Drew Thomas. Medlin advanced to third. And so now this will bring up Jacob Hall, the DH, the number 7 batter. As he digs in with one out. Takes a look at that first pitch across for a strike. Oh, one pitch. Swung on, and that one's ripped. Center fielder, though, is going to get out there to it, but it's going to be deep enough to score another run for the Indians. So even though it was out, a run was recorded and effective at bat that time for ICC, and they have quickly taken a 4-0 lead here. So Jacob Hall, the DH, gets the run across. That was Medlin, who doubled, came around to score. Now there's 2 outs, and this is Kyle Weaver at the plate. Weaver takes that first pitch for a strike. Well, credit Atkins, getting roughed up a little bit here, but not necessarily panicking, or at least still filling up the strike zone. Runner at first with 2 outs for the Indians. They lead 4-0. Little hit and run action, foul ball. Coach Collier showing off a little bit of glove over there on the far side of the field, making the bare hand stop across the way. With a win in game 1, Coach Collier now 3 wins away from his 500th win at ICC. And the pickoff move, they've got Wallace in a rundown here. They're going to throw it, and did he beat it? Yes, he did. Good job by Drake Wallace that time. Got underneath the tag. The first baseman couldn't quite decide quick enough to throw the ball. Wallace has got pretty good speed. Was able to get that hand down, stretched out, and avoid the tag. And so what looked to be disaster for the Indians got a little break there. And now runner in scoring position for Kyle Weaver. Stolen base. And there's a shot, and this is going to be down. They're going to hold up Wallace as he is waving him around, but instead elected to hold him at third. Nice piece of hitting there by Kyle Weaver. And now we've got the 9th batter of the inning coming up here for the Indians. And this is going to be Connor Lewis. Lewis, the shortstop here in game 2. We'll dig in with 2 outs and runners on the corners for the Indians. They lead 4-0, trying to add another run here in the top of the first. So Lewis takes that first pitch. Ooh, just missing. A beautiful pitch that time. Thought it had enough break on it to come back in, but just a little too far for the umpire's liking. Now the umpire is set up extremely inside, almost even with the batter, so it doesn't have a good angle on that outside corner. Snap throw over to first, not in time. Good job by the first baseman, Lovelace, though, to stretch out and keep that one from getting away from him, allowing another run to score. 1-0 is the count here to Lewis. Takes a look at that pitch. Wow, that one caught a ball. Looked like it was a pretty pitch right across the letters, but just a little too high for the umpire's liking, apparently. So, 2 borderline pitches not going the way of Atkins here early on against Lewis. 2-0 pitch. Lewis fouls this one back. 2-1 now goes the count. Well, they do have a player getting loose in the bullpen for the Warhawks. ICC leading 4-0 with 2 outs. Runners on first and third. We're in the top of the first, game 2, here at Calhoun Community College. There's a shot off the glove of the second baseman, and that's going to push across another run. The Indians on a hit parade here as they've batted around. In the top of the first, just a hard line drive off the glove of the second baseman who had to make the leaping catch or the leaping attempt. That will be a hit for Lewis, and he gets the RBI. That was Drake Wallace who came around to score. 5-0 now, ICC. So that pitch gets away, and looks like they're going to try to score the runner from second. Nope, a little confusion. Nobody at the plate, nobody covering home, and ICC gets the run. Well, that time both the pitcher and the catcher went for the baseball. And that's going to be scored a wild pitch with the run scored on. And Lewis was able to advance from first to third. It'll be a slow walk to the mound here for the Warhawks. A good start to the contest here for ICC. We may have a quick pitching change here. Or maybe the coach just trying to use this opportunity to kind of coach up the situation there. Both players going after the ball. Catcher kind of had a little bit of trouble locating where it went after it got away from him. The pitcher, you got to communicate. You got to tell him where it goes versus trying to go get the ball, because 9 times out of 10 you kind of get caught in those situations. We will have a choice pond pitch and change here, so we're going to step away and come back with the new pitcher here for the Warhawks. ICC leads it 6-0, 2 outs, top of the first. And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen. Your new pitcher is Sam Ireland into the game here. The right-handed pitcher for the Warhawks will check in with 2 outs. And ICC, boy, taking advantage of this one early. They've got 6 runs on the board with 2 outs here in the top of the first of game 2. Update Twitter real quick. That'd be a lot of information to try to update those 6 runs. That pitch gets away, not far enough for the runner to advance. That's Connor Lewis at third. He advanced all the way from first to third on that last wild pitch. We're back to the top of the lineup. DeSantis Rips that one to the third baseman. Can't find it. Going to be a tough throw. And he's safe. A big-time hit there for Trey. It's a hard line drive, but I got to give an E5 on that one. As that should have been a play that should have been made to end the inning. Lewis comes around to score. That closes the book on Atkins. 7-0 is your score. That ball gets away, and the runner will go to second and take a look at third, but we'll head back. So when it rains, it pours, and right now it's pouring on the Warhawks. Not a good start here. The ICC able to take advantage of 2 errors. They've got 6 hits and have pushed across 7 runs. There's 2 outs here in the top of the first. Good start to game 2 here for the Indians. This is Kyle Krieger, who reached on an error his last time up. Here's a flare out to right field. Right fielder running back and squeezes it for the putout. But the damage was done in a big way there for the Indians. They send 11 to the plate. In the top of the first, they get 7 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits and 2 errors. ICC leads it 7-0. As we'll step away and come back with the bottom of the first right after this. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as Houston Harding taking his warm-up pitches here. I tell you what, Houston, you got to like the run support you got coming into the bottom of the first here. ICC was able to push across 7 runs in the top of the first inning. Sent 11 to the plate, got 6 hits, took advantage of 2 errors as well. So it'll be Crane, Destin Davidson, and Hunter Davidson due up here in the bottom of the first. ICC with a 7-0 lead. But as we said in the game of baseball, the beautiful thing about it, there is no time limit. And just like the Indians able to put up big runs in the first, Calhoun could answer with it in the bottom half of the inning here. That first pitch a ball. Second pitch missing inside. Ball 2. 2-0 quickly now is the count here on Crane, the third baseman for the Warhawks. That pitch across for a strike. 2-1 now goes the count here on Crane. We've got Crane, Davidson, and Davidson due up here in the bottom of the first. Fastball a little high that time for Harding. Harding may just need to step back and take a deep breath. Looks like he's a little too amped up getting his first collegiate start here. And, oh, that one called ball 4. Good looking pitch, but a little too high for the umpire's liking there. So a leadoff walk here to Crane. So now it will be Destin Davidson for the Warhawks. He's playing in left field here in game 2. Comes in with 1 on and nobody out. Pitch low in the dirt for a ball. Well, Atkins struggled to locate, and when he did, the Indians were able to put the bat on the ball. And right now, Harding a little struggling to find that strike zone early on. That pitch high for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. As we said, may have a few little butterflies, a little adrenaline pumping here with his first collegiate start. 2-0 is the count here. That pitch across for a strike. 2-1 now goes the count. 2 balls, 1 strike here on Destin Davidson. Harding checks the runner. Now delivers this pitch. Blistered, popped up. Left fielder coming over to call everyone off. And we'll squeeze it for out number one. That was Drake Wallace on the putout out there in left field. One away, runner was unable to advance. And now up will be Hunter Davison, the center fielder. Indians push across 7 in the top half of the inning. Warhawks trying to battle back here in the bottom half. Throw over to first, not in time. Kind of just a half-hearted throw on a pickoff move just to check the runner, see how quickly he can get back. Harding now delivers. Breaking pitch, just broke a little too far inside that time, nearly. Caught the left arm of Hunter Davison, just trying to take one for the team there, but couldn't find it. So 1-0 now is the count, 1 out. Fastball fouled back off the netting, 1-1 goes to count. Well, my favorite thing about the early part of baseball and softball season is you can tell that fans aren't really tuned in or that deep into the season, because when a ball comes off the netting, I like to watch the fans jump away as just your natural instinct to move. There's a foul ball down the third baseline. But, about 10 games into the season, fans kind of get used to the ball coming back, bouncing off the netting, so you kind of lose that a little bit. 1-2 now is the count here on Hunter Davison, the center fielder. Runner at first. That's Crane, who drew a walk to start the inning. Ground ball, foul ball. Almost a carbon copy of the last pitch. That one goes foul. We'll stay at 1-2 with 1 out. So we said, a little softball action going on to the left of us. A nice facility here at Calhoun, both baseball and softball. Ground ball, shortstop's going to come up, tosses it over, and they turn 2. That's a Little Caesars double play for the Indians to get out of the inning. 6-4-3 by ICC, and the Indians take a 7-0 lead after 1. We're going to step away and be back with the top of the second right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. And welcome back now as we move to the top of the second inning. ICC 7, Calhoun 0 here in Game 2. It'll be Drew Thomas, Justin Medlin, and Russell Bunch due up here for the Indians. That pitch hit him. So Thomas going to take his base as it nipped his jersey that time. Unique delivery by Ireland as he kind of lifts the leg and almost puts it back down to his toes and then lifts it again before firing. And so after Thomas, the catcher, starts ending off being hit by a pitch, now up is going to be Justin Medlin, who doubled and scored a run in his first at bat. That pitch at the knees, called a strike for strike one. So Medlin at the plate, awaiting the pitch. 0-1 is the count. Takes that pitch outside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count here on Medlin. He is a freshman out of Ripley, went to Ripley High School. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs, and a runner on first here for the Indians. Ground ball hit hard at the first baseman. He's going to scoop it up and tosses it under, and great play at first by the pitcher coming back to cover. Had to make an awkward catch, but had the wherewithal to find his footing and get the foot down on the bag before falling forward. Runner is able to advance to second, though. They're going to give the pitcher a chance to kind of walk that off as he had an awkward landing after grabbing the ball. 1 out now. Runner at second. This is going to be Russell Bunch. Bunch grounded out 5-3 in his first at bat. Part of that 7-run top of the first inning. So Bunch will dig in with 1 out and a runner on second here for the Indians. Pitch in the dirt, blocked up nicely that time by the catcher. Runner could not advance. So Bunch will dig back in. 1-0 is the count. Ground ball right back up the middle. Gets past the pitcher. Shortstop's going to have to hurry. And does get Bunch across the way. But the runner is able to advance to third. Score that 6-3 on the putout of Bunch. Thought for a second that it was going to be a close play, but a nice play by the shortstop to quickly find the ball out of his glove and zip it over to first for the putout. Now up is going to be Drake Wallace. Drake singled and drove in a run. Swings at the first pitch he sees. This ball popped up. Pitcher calling everyone off in foul territory and finds it. So a nice job that time by the Warhawks to get a quick inning after giving up the hit batter to start the inning. 3 up, 3 down. After that, go the Indians. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. ICC 7. Warhawks 0 as we move to the bottom of the second inning here in Game 2. And welcome back to action now as we get set for the bottom of the second inning. ICC with a 7-0 lead. It'll be Stipple, Lovelace, and Coleman due up here. The 4, 5, 6 batters for the Warhawks. The Indians turn 2 to basically get a 3 up, 3 down inning in the bottom of the first inning. That pitch across for a strike. Well, the sun can't make up its mind. It wants to come out. It doesn't want to come out. It hides. It barely comes out. And that's kind of what it's doing right now. A little off speed, way ahead of that one. Fouls it back out of play towards the ICC bus. If it makes contact, and hopefully it did not. Maybe they got Joey Cox as their insurance agent. Joey Cox, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent. Stop by and see him for all your insurance needs as that pitch fouled off once again towards the bus. Joey, a former ICC All-American football player, proud to sponsor ICC athletics here on FM 90, or excuse me, that's not FM 95 Sports. You can tell I'm used to my cadence. It's actually letsgoicctv.com. Pitch in the dirt. Ball 1. Not a bad spot to miss that time by Houston. See if he couldn't get him to chase one. A little bit low and out of the zone. 1-2 is the count. Good eye. That time by the shortstop, Stimple. 1-2 pitch coming from Harding. Fly ball out to right field. Right fielder takes one step to his left, now his right back to his left, and is able to get the out. Pretty much just almost stepped right back into the spot where he was that time for the putout. Now this will be Lovelace coming up, the first baseman. Saw him pitch in game 1. So he will dig in with one out and nobody on. Off-speed pitch way ahead of that one. Nice play by the Calhoun coach over there in the third base box. Strike one on the foul ball. Remind you, our next broadcast on ICC Athletics will be on the Red Channel. That'll be Thursday night. Basketball at the Davis Event Center. Ripped, and that's going to be a fair ball down the line. Could go for extra bases. Lovelace motoring. And we'll have a stand-up double there. Nice at bat. Went with the pitch. Pulled it down the line. First hit of the game there for the Warhawks. It is a double by Lovelace. And now that will bring up Coleman, the left fielder. But to go back to that, our next broadcast will be on the Red Channel. Basketball Thursday night against Northeast. We do invite you to come out to the Davis Event Center to help support the Indians. Be sure and wear your victory red. Opening tip for the Lady Indians will be at 6 o'clock. The Indians scheduled at 8. If you can't make it to the game, you can watch it here on Let'sGoICCTV.com, starting with the Choice Pond pregame show at 5:40. If you're away from your computer, it'll be available on the radio on FM 95 Sports out of Amory, 95.7 FM. Jim Ingram will join me there in the ICC Foundation broadcast booth for that matchup. We're in the bottom of the second, 7-0. ICC with the lead. Runner at second with one out for the Warhawks. Beautiful breaking pitch across. Cuts just enough a corner of the plate for a strike. Evens up the count now at 1-1. The DH Sharp on deck for the Warhawks. Awaiting the pitch here, kind of toying with Lovelace at second. Now the delivery. There's a rip through the gap. And they're going to hold Lovelace at third. Going to get the ball in, and that'll be a single. So back-to-back hits now for the Warhawks. Calhoun trying to get something going here in the bottom of the second. Trailing 7-0. And now the DH Sharp will come to the plate here for Calhoun. It'll be Woods on deck. So the Indians love to see another Little Caesars double play rolled up here to see if they can get out of this inning with no damage done. Going to come out and set their signs. As Sharp awaiting the pitch here from Harding. Harding checks his runner, now delivers. Fastball across for a strike. Pitch to the knees. Up just enough to warrant a strike call from the home plate umpire. Been pretty consistent this afternoon with that low strike zone. Just not so much on that outside corner, as we said, set up on the extreme inside. There's another pitch right down Broadway for a strike. Quickly heading the count now, 0-2 is Houston Harding. Harding looking for his first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. 0-2 pitch. Looks at the runner at first. Now delivers. And he gets it. Swinging strike three for his first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day. And the second out of the inning. A big out there. Remind you, for all your banking needs, whether it be student checking, a home loan, or more, stop by and see one of the 73 locations throughout the southeastern part of the United States, or visit RenaissanceBank.com. Snap throw over to first. I don't know if he would have been able to throw that one a little bit sooner. He might have made it a little bit more interesting, but the runner's able to slide back safely. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Here for the Warhawks, ICC leading 7-0 in the bottom of the second of Game 2. This pitch popped up in foul territory. Right fielder's going to give chase, but if he makes that play from where he was, which he didn't, ICC would start a track team and he would be on it. So nothing but an exciting strike. 0-1 now is the count here on the second baseman Woods. Woods, look at him, kind of a big guy, but has some good speed. He was able to turn what's typically a single into a double after kind of rolling the dice and catching the Indians by surprise with some of his speed. In the first game, that pitch inside, dives out of the way from it, getting an earful from some of his teammates in the dugout for moving out of the way so much. Even ups the count now at 1-1 with 2 outs and runners on the corners for the Warhawks. So Harding looking to runner at first. Now delivers. And a nice change up that time, a little velocity change on the pitch that trailed back into the batter. 1-2 now goes the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, runners on the corners for the Warhawks. There's 2 outs here. ICC trying to get out of this inning with no damage done. Harding takes his time, now delivers. Pitch inside low for a ball. So 2-2 now is the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runners on the corners. Harding checks his runners. Now set to deliver to Woods. Pitch is on its way, breaking pitch, ground ball. Shortstop's going to have to hurry. Throw over is in time. Nice stretch over at first base that time for the Indians, as that was Justin Medlin making the extra effort to get the out, and the Indians get out of that inning with no damage done. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base for the Warhawks. We've played 2. ICC leads it 7-0. We're going to step away and come back with the top of the third right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. And welcome back now as we move to the top of the third inning. Hey, ICC fans, don't forget, coming up on March the 3rd will be the 22nd annual ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert. That's going to be at the Davis Event Center. Tickets are still available, but they're filling up fast. You can visit iccms.edu/concert. That's iccms.edu/concert to order your tickets, or feel free to come by the Community Relations office and talk to Miss Tilda Bushlawn to be able to order those tickets there. At first pitch, missing inside for a ball. That's once again the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on March the 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. 1-0 is the count. That pitch fouled back, evens the count at 1-1. So to be the DH, Jacob Hall at the plate right now, Kyle Weaver on deck, and Connor Lewis in the hole. The 7-8-9 batters for the Indians. 7-0 is your score. We're in the top of the third here in Game 2 at Calhoun Community College. That pitch high. 2-1 now goes the count. Once again, that awkward motion with the double leg lift by the pitcher. That pitch missing low and inside. For a ball, 3-1 now is the count to Hall. Hall had a sacrifice fly to drive in a run in his first at bat, and now he leads off the inning with a walk. Here in the third, ICC has had the leadoff batter on in all the first 3 innings. A double by Trey DeSantis to start the ball game. Drew Thomas was hit by a pitch to start the second, and now a walk to Jacob Hall to start the third. Kyle Weaver singled, scored on a wild pitch. Part of that impressive 7-run top of the first inning. So Weaver, the right fielder, will dig in here with a runner at first. Takes that first pitch of beauty for a strike. So Weaver, one of the few sophomores on this team this season for Coach Collier. We talked about Coach Collier in his 16th season. New assistant coach Dylan Ernest over at first base. He's in his first season at ICC. Former ICC pitcher, all-state, all-region pitcher. Played for Coach Collier. Went on to Southeastern Louisiana, and Blue Mountain College is where he finished up his career. He was a graduate assistant out there at Blue Mountain before coming to ICC this season. 1-1 is the count. No outs and a runner on first here for the Indians. This is Weaver at the plate. Takes a look at that pitch. Ball gets away in the dirt, and the runner will be able to take second. So now a runner in scoring position. If Weaver can find a way to get something down to the gap in the outfield, could possibly push across that 8th run of the contest here for ICC. So Weaver waited the 2-1 offering, and it's a strike. Nice job that time by Ireland to come back and just dig deep and find the strike zone here to even up the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, and a runner on second here in the top of the third. And that time a swinging strike is great location on that fastball, just a little down and out. Weaver couldn't hold off on it, and that's a Renaissance Bank strikeout, the first of the game for the Warhawks, first for Ireland, obviously. And now up will be Connor Lewis, the shortstop, number 9 batter. He singled, drove in a run, and came around to score in his first at bat. Now with 1 out in the inning and a runner at second, ICC trying to spark a little bit of rally here. This pitch, swing on the first one he sees, popped up a mile high. Second baseman's going to come over and call everyone off, and he's going to squeeze it for out number 2. So not being too patient at that at-bat that time was Connor Lewis. So after the leadoff walk and able to advance after the pitch got in the dirt, we go back to the top of the lineup where Trey DeSantis will come to plate. He's the center fielder, doubled off the wall to start the game, reached on an error, was able to get a run to come across on that error. Trying to keep this inning alive here for the Indians in the top of the third. Santos looks at that pitch, nearly hit by it as the curveball comes back in and misses for ball 1. DeSantis, a freshman out of Laurel, Mississippi, West Jones High School is where he went. This pitch lifted to center field. Center fielder going to take a few steps back and squeezes it for out number 3. So once again, the Indians get the leadoff batter on, but couldn't do anything with it. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left stranded in scoring position. We'll move to the bottom of the third inning. ICC leads it 7-0 here in Game 2 at Calhoun. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we now move to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be the 9-1-2 batters due up here for the Warhawks. Catcher Carty will lead things off here. And then Crane and Destin Davidson are due up here in the inning. So Carty getting his first at bat of the game. Houston Harding still on the hill for the Indians. Big healthy swing that time for Carty. Comes up empty for strike one. Well, the Indians scored 7 runs on 6 hits in the top of the first. A couple of errors by the Warhawks also. That's the difference in the game right now. As that pitch across for a strike. Quickly ahead in the count now is Houston Harding. 0-2. So Harding, 0-2 pitch coming. Breaking pitch and couldn't hang off of it. And 3 pitches, and that's a strikeout. A Renaissance Bank strikeout there for Houston Harding. I've got that as his second Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. So 1 away now. We go back to the top of the lineup with Crane, the third baseman. He walked to start the contest. Was part of that 6-4-3 double play to end the first inning. He takes that first pitch across for a strike. And the second pitch for a strike. Boy, I tell you what, I don't know right now if you're not Crane, you just step out of the box and try to get Harding out of this rhythm. So the 0-2 pitch, Harding set to deliver. That one high and inside, misses for a ball. Well, a much better rhythm to Harding's pitching right now. Let's see, earlier on in the contest, he looked like he was rushing his work, and that pitch inside. 2-2 now is the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on here for the Warhawks. We're in the bottom of the third inning. And there's another Renaissance Bank strikeout for Houston Harding. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning here in ICC. Dealing here early on, you could tell Houston, the way he walked off the mound, feeling really good after throwing that last pitch there. That is his third Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game, and now up is going to be left fielder Destin Davidson. Davidson takes a look at that first pitch, high for a ball. 1-0 is the count here. Davidson flew out to left in his first at bat. Sends one that way, but it's foul, out of play for strike one. 1-1 now is the count here on Destin Davidson. Well, it's Destin Davidson playing in left field. Center fielder is Hunter Davidson. You assume they're twins. As that ball fouled off, looks like it may have been fouled off his foot. And now the count goes 1-2. Houston Harding quickly asking for the ball, set to deliver. This pitch fouled back and out of play. We'll stay at 1-2. Clouds continuing to move in here. I know rain is expected to move into the area, or at least in Fulton, a little bit later tonight. It probably will trek its way over here to Decatur. Is this pitch? Nice at bat that time by Destin Davidson. Just went with the pitch and sent a flare out to right field, and that's going to be the third hit of the day, first hit of the game for Destin Davidson. Third hit of the game for the Warhawks, and that was a 2-out single to the right. And now up is going to be Hunter Davidson. Hunter grounded into that 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. Of course, all of our double plays this season being brought to you by Little Caesars. Location there in Fulton. Breaking pitch across for a strike. They've also got locations in Boonville and Ripley. Little Caesars, remember, if you're coming through the Fulton area looking for something quick for supper, or as you're leaving the ball game one day, stop by and pick up a hot and ready pizza for only $5 at Little Caesars. They're located wow, what a curveball. They're located 2 doors down from Food Giant, another proud sponsor of ICC Athletics, as that was a breaking ball for a strike, a swing and a miss that time by Hunter Davidson, and 0-2 is the count. So Harding zips this one, fly ball to center field. Center fielder is going to chase up and squeeze it for out number 3. Nice outing that time by Houston Harding. Got a pair of strikeouts and a fly ball to center field for a pretty quick inning there. Not a whole lot of pitches. We've played 3, ICC 7, Calhoun nothing. We're going to take a break and come back with the top of the 4th right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. And welcome back to action now. It'll be the 2-3-4 batters due up here for the Indians in the top of the fourth inning. That pitch low to Kyle Krieger. Krieger 0 for 2, did reach on an error, scored a run. That was part of that 7-run first inning. As that pitch low and inside for ball 2, 2-0 now is the count. That pitch across for a strike. 2-1 pitch coming. Ground ball, going to be a little bit of trouble here. Backhanded by the shortstop, throw across the way. Deep in the hole, you got to give that a hit. Nice effort that time by the shortstop. Stemple just to be able to find the ball. Tell you what, if he would have made that throw and put out, you just go ahead and sign him up for the MLB, as that was deep in the hole that time. So a leadoff hit. Once again, the Indians get the leadoff batter on for 4 straight innings. And now this is going to be Drew Thomas, the catcher, due up here. Drew is 1 for 1. He was hit by a pitch, singled and drove in a run, eventually came around to score. Breaking pitch a little bit high that time for ball 1. That pitch missing low, 2-0 now is the count. Runner at first. Drew Thomas, the catcher here in game 2, awaiting the pitch. Rips one. This is trouble right here. It's going to get over the head of center fielder. They're going to wave the runner. Nope, they're going to hold him at third. There's a double by Drew Thomas, the catcher. Big hit there for Thomas, and now the Indians trying to get something rolling here in the top of the fourth. His second hit of the day. He's 2 for 2. It was also hit by a pitch. And now this is going to be Justin Medlin, who doubled in his first at bat. He did ground out 3-1 on a nice play by the pitcher in his previous at bat. So he will dig in here. That pitch, wow. Thought it was going to hang up a little high for a strike, but instead dips back in to the zone for, or excuse me, hang up high for a ball, but dips back in for a strike. Infield is out of this situation. That pitch missing low to Medlin. Medlin, as we said, doubled. Hit a hard ground ball to the first baseman. A nice play by the first baseman to block it up, and an even better play by the pitcher to find the ball. As Medlin turns on this one, pops it up, and it gets out of play. 2-1 now is the count on Medlin. Runner at third, that's Kyle Krieger, who started the inning with a single. Advanced to third after Thomas got a double out to right center. No outs and 2 on here for the Indians. They lead 7-0, trying to build on that lead here in the top of the fourth. Swung on and missed. Beautiful location on the pitch that time. Another Renaissance Bank strikeout for Ireland. I'll tell you what, that was a big time out there. Get a little bit of pressure off his back. His second strikeout of the game, and now up is going to be Russell Bunch. So Russell Bunch will come to the plate now. Bunch 0 for 2 with a ground out to third and a ground out to short. Trying to come in for the Indians and get this bat sparked here. Bunch takes a look at that pitch, low for a ball. Indians looking to pick up some of those insurance runs provided by your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox. For all your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, or life, stop by and see Joey there in Fulton. And Russell Bunch is hit by the pitch, so he will head down to first to load the bases. Now up is going to be Drake Wallace. Wallace popped up in foul territory, was put out by the pitcher, and then singled to drive in a run, stole the base, and eventually came around to score. So bases loaded with 1 out here for the Indians. Drake Wallace at the plate. Wallace takes that pitch inside for a ball. Wallace looking at that pitch inside, ball 2. That one nearly hitting Drake. Of course, you talk about Drake, talk about a football player, so he's probably not going to be afraid of getting hit. 2-0 is the count. Bases loaded, one out. Top of the fourth. Wallace takes a look at that pitch in the dirt. Nicely blocked up that time by Carty. Keeps the runner at third. If that one got away easily, would have scored a very speedy Krieger from third. So 3-0 is the count. Figure the red light is on here for Drake. And it is. And the pitch across for a strike. So Krieger smacks this one. Center fielder going back, and I think this one's gone. Nope, it's short of the wall. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. 3 runs will score. He's going to try to get it into a triple, and he does. Drake Wallace with a bases clearing triple and a big time play there for the Indians. So they push us across 3 runs, and now they lead at 10-0. Wasn't the prettiest slide in the world, but it got the job done. Time on the field. ICC leads at 10-0. We're going to step away and be back with more on Let'sGoICCTV.com. And welcome back, as this is going to be Larry Meisner coming in. Didn't have him on the don't see him on the roster, at least not by the number of 26. So either way it goes, back to action now. ICC leading it 10-0 after a bases loaded triple by Drake Wallace. And now this is going to be Jacob Hall at the plate with 1 out and a runner at third. Had a beautiful pitch. That time just had Hall all out of sorts. Swings at the first pitch for a strike. Ground ball. Infield was in. Bobbled it for a second, but then the throw is off. Pulled the first baseman off that time. E6 on the play. The 3rd error of the game for the Warhawks. I think he didn't think about how close he was that time. After he bobbled it once, he kind of panicked, and the throw was in the dirt. And it pulled the first baseman off the bag, and now up is going to be Kyle Weaver. Weaver, one of two on the afternoon with a single and a strikeout. Weaver takes that first pitch inside for a ball. Got away from the catcher for a second, but not far enough to allow the runners to do anything. One out. ICC up 10-0. That pitch, a beauty, across for a strike. Evens at the count now at 1-1. One ball, one strike. Breaking pitch, and that's a beauty, across for a strike. One ball, two strikes now. Runners on the corners here for the Indians. They lead 10-0 with one out in the top of the fourth inning. This pitch reached out, popped it up. Shortstop calling everyone off. Is going to come up and squeeze it for the putout. Runner's going to show he goes, but we'll trot back to third. Second out of the inning now. And now up will be the number 9 batter, shortstop Connor Lewis. Lewis, one of two on the afternoon. His last at bat, he popped up to second for the second out of the third inning. He also had a single to drive in a run, eventually scored a run, part of that 7-run, top of the first for the Indians. Takes a look at the first pitch, a breaking pitch. Ooh, must have fell out of the zone a little too soon for the umpire's liking, ball one. Wallace at third. Healthy cut, but a miss. 1-1 now is the count. Wallace put a charge into one, got over the head of the center fielder for a bases clearing triple. So 1-1 is the count here. This is Lewis at the plate. Looks at that one. Oh, my goodness. Where's the strike zone going all of a sudden? Another good-looking pitch. That one called a ball. 2-1 now is the count here to Lewis. Here comes the offering. Lewis looks at it, and that pitch looked to be less of a strike than the first one, so maybe a makeup call there by the umpire. 2-2 now is the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on for the Indians. The 2-2 pitch coming. Inside for a ball, blocked up nicely after it got in the dirt that time. So now the count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Payoff pitch coming here. Reaches out, puts a bat on it, and it's going to drop for a base hit, and that's going to score another run. Nice hit that time. Had to reach out and go get it low in the zone. Was able to put a bat on the ball and get it out there for his second hit of the game and his second RBI of the game as well. And ICC now leads 11-0. And back to the top of the lineup we go. Trey DeSantis will come to the plate. I like Trey. He doesn't waste much time. So I tried to get the camera up, and he had his leadoff double quicker than I could hit record. Of course, you can see highlights of today's doubleheader on our YouTube page. Just search Let's Go ICC on YouTube. Is that pitch across for a strike? So 0-1, the count here to DeSantis. He calls time and gets it. Runners on first and second for the Indians. There's 2 outs here. Top of the 4th inning. ICC's put 4 on the board, looking for a few more. So Trey awaiting the pitch. Fouls that one off. 0-2 now is the count. So 0-2. Breaking pitch, fought that one off, foul ball. Good job that time by DeSantis to find contact on it, foul it off, and keep the at-bat alive here for the Indians. So the count stays at 0-2. Runners at first and second here for the Indians. 2 outs. Top of the fourth. ICC leading 11-0. Pitch in the dirt. Ball gets away, and the runners will advance. Now a base hit could be big here for Trey. So he's reached on an error, flew out to center, and also has doubled here in game 2. And he fouls that one off. Good job chasing the pitch out of the zone that time, but finding a piece of it to keep the at-bat alive. Good at bat going right now for Trey DeSantis. We talked about Trey. He's out of Laurel, Mississippi, West Jones High School. And that pitch in the dirt, and the count now evens up at 2-2. Our video operations coordinator, Raphael Henry, from that part of the world, Laurel, Mississippi. I think he went to West Jones High School too. 2-2 is the count here. As a plane comes flying in, that pitch inside. 3-2 now is the count. So full count here. 3-2 pitch coming. DeSantis waiting. Looks at ball 4. Nice at bat that time by Trey. Was able to foul off about 3 or 4 pitches to keep the at-bat alive, and he earns the walk. And now up, this will be Kyle Kreger. He singled, scored a run to start this inning. So the Indians have batted around again for the second inning in this game too. Curveball hangs up for a ball. 11-0 is your score. ICC with the lead. They scored 7 in the first. So far have scored 4. And this pitch fouled back. Evens up the count now at 1-1 on Krieger. He reached on an error in the first, scored a run, flew out to right to end the first inning. And now trying to keep the inning alive here for ICC. Swings on that one, fouls it back for strike 2. 1-2 is the count now. 2 outs. Bases full of Indians. Last time Indians have bases loaded, it was a triple. And there's a hard hit ground ball, and the third baseman doing a great job of finding a heater and stepping on the bag to get the third out of the inning. But the Indians able to put more runs on the board. They score 4 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. They lead at 11-0 as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll take a break and come back with that inning here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. And welcome back as we get set for the bottom of the 4th inning. ICC leading 11-0 here in Game 2 at Calhoun. It'll be Stemple, Lovelace, and Coleman due up here. This is where Calhoun has had a little bit of production. They've got 3 hits, 2 of those. A double by Lovelace and a single by Coleman. Both due up here in the inning. So this is Stemple, who flew out to right to start the second inning. Got a Indian out there in the outfield singing along with the music. Is that pitch high for a ball? Houston Harding still on the hill here for the Indians. Boy, he got a gift to start the game when the Indians hung 7 runs on the board in the top of the first. Really takes a little bit of pressure off your back to be able to work a little bit looser. But right now finds himself behind in the count 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, no outs, nobody on here. As the sun continues to set, indicator that pitch across for a strike. As I said, not a bad drive from Fulton, less than 2 hours. A lot less if you drive creatively like I did. As that pitch fouled out and out of play. 2-2 now is the count here to Stemple. So 2-2 is the count here. Harding set to deliver. That pitch inside for a ball. Now the count goes full. Harding does have a trio of Renaissance Bank strikeouts, but like to pick up his 4th one here. 3-2 pitch coming, and it's fouled off, and we'll do it all over again. I'll give Calhoun credit. They have made the ICC pitchers earn it today. They fouled off a lot of pitches, have gone deep in the pitch count, a lot of times winning those battles. Harding trying to win it here. And there's a line drive, second baseman diving stop. Throw over to first in time for the putout. Nice play there by the second baseman. Looks like we have a new second baseman in the game for the Indians. Or actually, excuse me, no, that's still Kyle Krieger at second, making the nice stop for out number 1. Score that 4-3 for those of you scoring at home. Now up is Lovelace. He doubled down the left field line in his first at bat. Stands in, takes that first pitch high and outside for a ball. 11-0 is your score, 1 out. Bottom of the 4th here in Game 2 at Calhoun Community College. There's a ground ball. It's going to get through. Nice piece of hitting that time by Lovelace. His 2nd hit of the game, so his name will be in the box score in tomorrow's Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal. And now up will be Coleman, the left fielder. Coleman, owner of one of the 4 hits for the Warhawks here in Game 2. He had a single. Both he and Lovelace was left stranded in scoring position. Or excuse me, no, just Lovelace was left stranded in scoring position in the second. 1 out and a runner on first. Lovelace not getting a very big lead. Breaking pitch, a beauty, but caught a ball. Wow. Even Harding kind of shaking his head after that one, and the infield umpire kind of scratching his nose. Even he thought it was a strike. 1-0 is the count. Fastball couldn't catch up with it. Evens the count now at 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and a runner on first. Fastball fouled back out of play. Now the count goes 1-2. We remind you our next baseball game is scheduled for Friday, but there is a lot of rain scheduled for the Fulton area starting later tonight. So you want to be sure and follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC to see if those games will remain to be played. Ground ball off the glove of the pitcher. And that's just going to be an infield single. Good job by communication by the Indians that time, telling the defense to eat it. And so back-to-back hits. Coleman also now will be in tomorrow's agate for the Daily Journal. Just one of those situations where Harding tried to make a play. The ball tipped off his glove and rolled directly behind him. And so that will go in the books as a single. Now up will be Sharp, the first of 3 strikeout victims of the game for Houston Harding. Of course, when we talk about our strikeouts, you've got to talk about Renaissance Bank. Visit renaissancebank.com. Over 70 locations throughout the southeast United States to serve you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you? renaissancebank.com. So runners on first and second with 1 out. Warhawks trying to spark a rally here in this game. They trail 11-0. Nice little change up of pace that time, way ahead of the batter, or way ahead of the ball was Sharp that time. 0-1 is the count. Sun continues to set. The clouds continue to move in here in Decatur, Alabama. ICC trying to make early work of Game 2 here. Pitch in the dirt. 1-1 now is the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and runners on first and second here for the Warhawks. So waiting the pitch here. As Harding taking a lot of time. Now delivers. And the fastball couldn't catch up with it, located a little bit on the outside. 1-2 now goes the count. One ball, 2 strikes. Runners on first and second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. ICC leading 11-0. Harding checks the runner, now stretched to deliver. This pitch fouled off, and we'll do it all over again. If we don't play Friday, ICC is scheduled to play Wren Lake on Sunday, so we might be able to get that one in depending on how much rain we get over the next few days. 1-2 pitch coming. This one popped up and back out of play. Also, ICC softball set to host 4 games on Saturday. Not looking good for those as well. Of course, ICC will only be playing in 3 of those 4 games. As we remind you, visit letsgoicc.com for more information on any schedule changes in the future. So waiting the 1-2 pitch here from Harding. Inside, gets away. And good job that time by the catcher. I think we got a new catcher in the game for the Indians. Of course, can't pick up his number. Yes, that's Ray Sandroni out of Tupelo, catching now for the Indians. 2-2 is the count. Harding checks his runner at second, now set to deliver. There's a flare out to the first baseman, makes the play, and the only play he's got is going to be to step on the bag and get the out for out number 2 of the inning. Nice play over there at first by Hayden Palmer, another freshman out of Tupelo. He went to Saltillo High School, however. So now this will be Woods, the second baseman, at the plate. Runners at second and third. 2 outs for the Warhawks, trying to spark a rally here. Woods tried to do some damage with that swing, just couldn't catch up with the fastball. He grounded out 6-3 to end the second in his first at bat. Fastball fouled back quickly. 0-2 now is the count here against Woods. Umpire having to get a few more baseballs in the game. And so 0-2 is the count. Runners on second and third here for the Warhawks. Harding trying to get out of this inning with no damage done. 0-2 offering coming. Set up on the outside, got him swinging for the Renaissance Bank strikeout to end the inning. And ICC gets out of the inning with no damage done. Nicely done that time by Harding to stay cool and be able to get the inning out. 11-0, your score. We've played 4. We'll be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen. We get set for the top of the fifth inning. New batter at the plate for the Indians. This is going to be number 21, Ray Sandroni, coming in. He entered defensively to replace Drew Thomas in that last inning. So Ray will get his first collegiate at bat. Takes that first pitch high for a ball. Ray Sandroni, a freshman, 5'9", 175, out of Tupelo, went to Tupelo High School. Part of that them blanket nation, if you will. So he takes that pitch low and outside for a ball. Temperature's dropping a little bit. See, Coach Collier has dipped into his travel bag and got his pullover out. As Sandroni takes that pitch inside for a strike, 2-1 now. Goes the count. So 2-1 is the count here to Sandroni. Swings on this one, fouls it back out of play. Evens the count now at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, nobody on here for the Indians. They lead at 11-0. Looks like the Warhawks may be starting to get someone loose in the bullpen. So Sandroni awaiting the pitch. Breaking pitch, ooh, a beauty, but called a ball. Borderline pitch not going the way of the Warhawks. Now the count goes full at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Sandroni jammed on this one, pops up. First baseman calling everyone off and will squeeze it for the putout. So pop up to third. Retires Sandroni. And now coming to the plate, this is going to be Hayden Palmer. Palmer replacing Medlin at first base, getting his first collegiate at bat, as we said, out of Saltillo. Takes a look at that first pitch. Low for a ball. Russell Bunch on deck for the Indians. 1 out, nobody on here for the Indians. We're in the top of the fifth. ICC leading 11-0. Breaking pitch that just wouldn't quite turn over for him that time as it goes for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. We do have some action brewing in the bullpen for the Warhawks. And whoa, what a healthy swing that time. Just couldn't catch up with it, as that was Palmer swinging for strike 1. So waiting the pitch here. Palmer looks at it. Wow. Inside pitch, look, it nearly hit him, so he must be standing on top of the plate. Called a strike. 2-2 now is the count. Palmer swings on one, rips it, but foul. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody on here for the Indians. Palmer waiting the pitch. Looks at that pitch outside for a ball. Now the count goes full. So waiting the 3-2 pitch. And it's low and inside for a ball. And that'll be a walk to Palmer. So he'll trot down to first with the free pass. And now this will be Russell Bunch coming to the plate. Russell, 0 for 2 on the day, was hit by a pitch, scored part of that bases loaded triple by Drake Wallace. So Bunch will dig in with 1 out and a runner on first. Bunch takes that first pitch, breaking pitch across for a strike. 0-1 is the count to Bunch. Runner at first with 1 out. Bunch rips one. Center fielder is going to come running up, but makes the play for out number 2. So now up will be Drake Wallace. Wallace, a nominee for our Sonic Star of the Game with that. I think he's got 2 hits so far in the contest. Could add to that total here. Takes that pitch high for a ball. Wallace, yes, is 2 for 3 on the day. He has 4 RBIs in this game and sends a flare, but is out foul down the right line. 1-1 now is the count. He's also scored 2 runs and has stolen a base. So a productive game 2 here for Drake Wallace. 2 outs, 1-1 is the count here on Drake. Runner at first for the Indians. They lead 11-0. Hard hit ground ball. Second baseman, easy play. He's going to jog over and step on the bag for the putout. So the Indians, no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. We're going to step away and come back with the bottom of the 5th inning. ICC leads game 2, 11-0 here at Calhoun. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as Clay Houston takes the mound here for the Indians. Clay already drawing some oohs and ahs out of the crowd during his warm-up pitches, as he can bring it a little bit, folks. First pitch, foul back for strike one. Clay is a 6'5", 290-pound sophomore out of Fulton, Mississippi. Went to Itawamba AHS, a former teammate of Russell Bunch, who is at third. ICC with 4 players off that Itawamba AHS team. Breaking pitch, just missing up high, evens the count at 1-1. So 1-1 is the count here. Houston set to deliver. Fastball missing just outside. And 2-1 now is the count here. So the pitch coming. And that one missing. 3-1 now goes the count. Three-two offering, or excuse me, 3-1 offering coming. Fastball and just couldn't quite catch up with it that time. It's those moments you wish you had a gun to see how fast he's throwing. So 3-2 now is the count. Houston getting set to deliver. And it's high and inside, and he loses him. So he'll walk the first batter he sees. So that was Carty. That will head down to first, and now we go back to the top of the lineup with Crane. So snap throw over to first. Nearly got him. Kind of just see if he can catch the runner napping that time. So Houston sets to deliver. Fastball for a strike. I've covered a lot of guys throughout my career, and I've seen a lot of guys throw hard. I've seen a lot of guys throw fast, and Clay Houston does it both. So this pitch popped a mile high. Bunch comes over and makes the play after calling everyone off for out number 1. So 1 away now. Runner was not able to advance. And now this will bring Destin Davidson to the plate. He singled his last time up, was left stranded. He also flew out to left in his first at bat of the afternoon. 1 out now. Runner at first. ICC leading 11-0 here in Game 2 at Calhoun. That pitch, a little off speed, breaking pitch at the knees. Umpire hesitated and called a ball. 1-0 is the count. Houston snap throw over to first. Not in time. I tell you what, you don't have to be pretty brave to be a first baseman. That's Hayden Palmer. Like he caught one about high 80s on that throw across. Fastball, ground ball. Bunch boots it, and that's going to be an error. That was a hard hit ball that time, but just could not find it as it rolled up his arm. And so now the hit, and that would put runners on first and second with 1 out here. And this will be Hunter Davison coming to the plate. So Sandroni wanting to come out and talk to his pitcher here, kind of calming down a little bit, if you will. Just say, throw strikes, kid. So Houston digs in. Pitch missing. Low for a ball. Well, that breaking pitch not quite there for Houston so far here in his first outing of the year. Runners on first and second for Hunter Davison at the plate now. Ground ball. Slow roller here. Only one play at first, and a beautiful play there by Russell Bunch to come across and get the put out. Well, good job that time by Russell. Runners advanced to second and third. Russell just committed that error on the play before. Was able to stay focused, didn't try to force anything, and came up with a not just a difficult play, but not an easy play to get the out over at first. Now there's 2 outs in the inning. This is the shortstop Stipple coming to the plate. Takes that fastball for a strike. 0-1 is the count with 2 outs now. Runners at second and third. If you're Clay, you just worry about the guy in front of you right now. Fastball. Tell you what, Stipple, you got my respect. I would have took off running with that one coming at me like that. 1-1 now is the count with 2 outs. Fastball. And it's going to be a slow roller. First, and the play. Got it. Nice play by Russell Bunch to get 2 difficult back-to-back plays to get the out at first. And I'll believe that'll do it. Yes, it will. The Indians pick up the 11-0 win here in 5 innings to sweep the Warhawks to open the season. ICC improves to 2-0. The Warhawks fall to 3-4. Our Sonic star of the game going to be Houston Harding. A great outing for Houston. He gives up 4 scoreless innings of baseball, only allows 5 hits. He struck out 4 to earn our Sonic star of the game. Let me count up the line real quick for everyone. For the Indians, your final line looks like this: 11 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. For Calhoun, no runs, 5 hits, 3 errors. We talked about Houston Harding, our Sonic star of the game. Let's take a look at today's batting stats for the Indians. Trey DeSantis, he went 1 for 3 with a walk. He had a double, scored a run. He also reached on an error. Kyle Kreger went 1 for 3 with a single. He scored a run, actually scored 2 runs as he reached on an error in the first. Drew Thomas, he went 2 for 3 on the afternoon. He had a double, scored a run. He also had a single that pushed across 2 runs. He scored 2 runs in the contest. Justin Medlin on the afternoon went 2 for 3 with a double, scored a run. He also struck out. Then you've got Russell Bunch going 0 for 3 on the afternoon. He was hit by a pitch and scored a run. Drake Wallace, a great performance by Drake, 2 for 4 from the plate. He had a bases loaded triple that's pushed across 3 runs. He also had a single to push across another run, so 4 RBIs on the day for Drake Wallace. He scored 2 runs and stole the base. Jacob Hall went 0 for 1 on the day, reached on an error. He also walked and had a sacrifice fly to drive in a run. Kyle Weaver, 1 for 3 with a strikeout, scored on a wild pitch. He had a single. Connor Lewis went 2 for 3, an RBI and a run scored. Also, you've got number 21, Ray Sandroni, 0 for 1 on the day, and number 32, Hayden Palmer, officially no at-bat as he walked in his only at-bat of the afternoon. Next game for the Indians scheduled for Friday. As a tradition like none other, when the Indians get a sweep, the coaches have to do a run-through of the line, and, well, they get a little bit of a treatment from the team, and that was Coach Dylan Erdis's first experience of the run-through as the Indians celebrate the sweep here with an 11-0 Game 2 victory in 5 innings. If we can't play Friday, the baseball team scheduled to play at home also Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, as we sign off, we do want to take a moment to ask you to remember the ICC family in your prayers. Tonight we'll hold a prayer visual for our football player Zion Ford, who passed away this weekend, as it's a very sad moment for the ICC family. Also encourage you to please remember the Ford family, their friends and loved ones as well. That visual tonight will be at 6:30 at the Crane Pavilion. If you're in the area, we do encourage you to come out, show support for the Ford family as well as the ICC football team, the coaching staff, and the rest of the ICC family, as there's a lot of heavy hearts back in North Mississippi this evening. So that's going to do it. ICC gets to sweep this afternoon with a 5-2 win in Game 1 and 11-0 win in Game 2 in 5 innings. This has been Adam Gore for Let's Go ICCTV.com. We invite you to join us Thursday night for basketball at the Davis Event Center. 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock tips between ICC and Northeast. If you can't join us, it'll be available on the Red Channel or on FM 95 Sports out of Amory. We'll see you next time, folks, and as always, Roll Tribe.